Hello, everybody, and welcome. Today, we're going to talk about one of the biggest misunderstandings in self-publishing, especially in children's books. Most people think the goal is to create one successful book, and it sounds logical, but it's usually the wrong approach. The real money in children's publishing often comes from building a simple series of books that work together. And the good news is this. You do not need to be an artist. You do not need to be a professional writer. You do not need expensive software, and you definitely do not need to create some giant, complicated masterpiece. In fact, many of the people overcomplicating children's books are the exact people who are struggling the most. Today, I'm going to show you why simple educational children's books are often one of the smartest and most beginner-friendly entry points into self-publishing, especially for retirees and people wanting supplemental income from home. By the end of this webinar, you're going to understand why single books usually fail, why series outperform standalone titles, what kinds of children's books are easiest to create, how to build repeatable books without reinventing the wheel, and how ordinary people are using simple systems to build royalty-producing catalogs. So let's get started. The biggest mistake beginners make is this. They treat every book like it's a once-in-a-lifetime creative project. They spend months trying to create the perfect book. They overthink every page, they redesign everything constantly, they keep changing directions, and many never publish anything at all. Meanwhile, someone else creates a counting book, an ABC book, a colors book, a shapes book, an animal series, and quietly builds a catalog of books that keep selling month after month. And here's the reality most people never hear. One book rarely changes your life, but 5 books can. 10 books can. 20 books absolutely can, especially when they're all connected together strategically. That's the difference between hobby thinking and catalog thinking. Parents love familiarity. Children love familiarity even more. When kids recognize the same mascot, in my case, Carson Crocodile, the same style, the same format, the same learning structure, they become comfortable immediately. This is why educational children's series are everywhere. You see it in counting books, alphabet books, first words books, sight word books, color books, animal books, preschool learning books. The structure becomes familiar and repeatable. Now think about this from a business perspective. If somebody buys one of your books and likes it, what happens next? You already have book 2, book 3, book 4, book 5 in the pipeline. This is where momentum starts building. A single standalone book has to do all of the heavy lifting by itself. A series lets every book help sell the other books. This changes everything. Now let's talk about the kind of books beginners should be creating. This is important because many people jump into the hardest categories first. They try massive storylines, deep plots, advanced illustrations, long text-heavy books. That's a big mistake for beginners. Simple educational books are often far more practical. Think about counting books. Here's some examples. Count the dinosaurs, count the trucks, count the puppies, count the sharks. Now consider ABC books. Here are some examples of those. ABC animals, ABC construction vehicles, ABC farm words, ABC ocean creatures. What about color books? Here's some examples of those. Learning colors with animals, my first colors, color matching books, or even shapes books. A couple of these examples would be shapes at the zoo or shapes in nature. Maybe think about opposites books. Here you can lay these out. Big and small, fast and slow, loud and quiet. Opposites. Notice something important here. These books are simple. Simple is not bad. Simple is scalable. And parents, grandparents, and teachers buy educational repetition books constantly. This is something most people overlook. Retirees actually have several advantages in children's publishing. We understand the family structure, grandchildren, simplicity, patience, repetition, learning basics, and emotional warmth. You also tend to understand something younger creators often miss. Children do not need overstimulation. Adults often overcomplicate books because they're trying to impress other adults. Children respond to clarity, bright visuals, repetition, predictability, encouragement. That's why many simple educational books quietly outperform highly artistic passion projects. Another major advantage retirees have is patience. Many younger people want instant viral success. Retirees, we're okay with taking our time with projects. Catalog publishing rewards consistency. One simple book becomes a series of 5, then 10, then paperbacks, then ebooks, then an expanded series that include more and more themes. That stacking effect matters. Now let's be brutally honest. Most people never publish because they stay trapped in preparation mode. They watch many YouTube videos to learn more, buy more courses, research to the nth degree, change niches repeatedly, but never actually build a catalog. Perfectionism has destroyed more publishing careers than lack of talent ever did. The market rewards completed products, not unfinished ideas. You don't need perfect artwork, perfect writing, perfect branding, or perfect websites. You need published assets. This is what creates opportunity. One of the smartest things you can do is to stop reinventing every book from scratch. Series publishing works because systems save time. For example, the same trim size, the same page layout, the same mascot, the same educational structure, and the same cover style. You're changing topics, but not rebuilding the entire business every time. This is exactly how smart publishers scale their catalogs into a business that produces revenue. This is where beginners waste enormous amounts of time. They keep trying to be original and unique instead of being consistent. Consistency wins, especially in educational publishing. Now let's talk seriously about income. Most people hear passive income and imagine money magically appearing overnight. This is the fantasy that many online gurus want you to chase. Books are assets. Assets take time to build. Here's what matters. A catalog gives you leverage. One book making $20 a month might not excite people, but 10 books at $20 a month, 20 books at $20 a month, 50 books at $20 a month, now you're talking about meaningful supplemental income, especially for retirees trying to ease financial pressure. And unlike many side hustles, you're not driving constantly, you're not standing all day, you're not doing physical labor packing products to ship, you're not tired to hourly income, you're building digital assets, and that's a completely different matter. One of the biggest opportunities right now is that many people are avoiding simple niches because they think simple means low value. That's backwards. Simple educational books are evergreen. Parents always need ABC books, counting books, color books, preschool learning books. 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, evergreen markets matter. Trendy markets come and go. Educational children's publishing remains steady. Now, if you're sitting there thinking, this really sounds achievable, that's exactly why I created my training programs, because most beginners don't need more confusion. You need simplicity, templates, structure, step-by-step guidance, and repeatable systems. I currently have several beginner-friendly programs designed specifically to help people create simple educational books. The first is the easiest and most affordable. Read and Print, Mastering ABC Books. This is a low-cost, beginner-friendly program available right now for $37. It includes templates, training videos, free software guidance, and step-by-step instruction. This is designed especially for people who feel overwhelmed by technology or complicated publishing systems. You do not need advanced design skills. You do not need expensive software. You do not need to buy anything else to get your first book published and that subsequent series published as well. You just need a repeatable layout and system. Let me leave you with this thought. Most people spend years looking for the perfect side hustle. Meanwhile, simple educational publishing quietly keeps working in the background. It's not glamorous, it's not flashy, but it's practical. And practical matters because when you want simplicity, flexibility, home-based income, supplemental royalties, and a business asset that keeps working month after month, this works. The people who win in publishing are usually not the most talented. They're the most consistent. One book, then another, then another. This is how catalogs are built. This is how consistent revenue is created. Thank you for spending this time with me today. I do appreciate you being here, and I hope this opened up your eyes to what's actually possible with simple children's book publishing. Remember, you don't need to build a masterpiece. You need to build momentum. Start today by downloading my free resource, the Children's Book Series Starter Kit at chasethebutterfly.com. See you next week.